Innovation Academy, we have recently added an online experience for students who take our entrepreneurship, our creativity and our innovation multidisciplinary electives. What we do is we basically provide resources to those students as well as online practical challenges. One of those challenges is an online mixing and matching of ideas, something I'm absolutely certain is going to become huge over the next couple of years given technologies like Internet of Things, artificial intelligence and virtual reality which are on the horizon. So let's think about what is mix and match, and I want you to spend just a couple of seconds thinking about your own mix and match idea that might come to your mind. It's combining two or more products, services and or ideas for the very first time to solve a problem. Can you think of some? We're not going to have an interactive here, but just think of some while we're moving through our 20-second slide. So mix and match ideas. The greatest mix and match experiment of all time probably took place during the Renaissance, when patrons brought together artists, sculptors, architects and poets and writers to work together and to exchange ideas. This resulted in probably the greatest period of creativity in the history of mankind, and it's what a lot of people have since coined the expression of the Medici effect. A lot of people call mix and matching different names. We call it, Robert Barron called it pattern recognition, Clayton Christian calls it association, Kevin Kelly calls it combination or recombination, Steve Jobs calls it connecting the dots. Call it as it is, it's the next big thing. What about the pastry chef in New York who brought together the croissant and the donut to create the cronut? He created a pastry sensation. People queued for hours outside his pastry shop in New York, and it even created a cronut black market where people were willing to pay up to $50 each for the cronuts. Hendrix themselves, of course, pioneered the unique association between gin and cucumber, and when they combined it with the beautiful dark brown apothecary style bottle that complemented it so well, it was an overnight sensation. So it's fairly ubiquitous with objects as well. We know the Swiss Army knife is probably the most famous object, as one of the most famous objects to mix and match so many ideas. But the award, folks, for the greatest mix and match object of all time, quite simply, must go to the smartphone. Because the smartphone has brought together so many everyday objects that we use. It's brought together the telephone, it's brought together text, it's brought together our address book, it's brought together maps, it's brought together our music system, our book library. It's brought together so many everyday objects all into one very, very convenient device in the greatest mix and match object of all time. These two ladies tried to solve a problem in Scandinavia. The problem was that 90% of adults will not wear helmets in Scandinavia, cycling helmets in Scandinavia. They're messy, they're bulky, they're very unattractive. What did they do? They looked at other technologies, and what they did is they ended up mixing and matching the scarf with the airbag to produce the invisible cycling helmet. From nature and science, we have another revolutionary adhesive product which essentially used biomimicry from the suction of a gecko's foot and the adhesive action style of a muscle to mix and match to create an adhesive that works in both wet and dry surfaces. In medicine, of course, doctors are currently working with immuno-oncology. They're mix and matching immuno-oncology with tried and trusted therapies like chemotherapy with incredible results. And of course we have the drone. Many of us as children had remote control airplanes, but it was only when it was mixed and matched with the powerful GoPro cameras to create the drone that we ended up with a product that is potentially possible that is going to completely disrupt the delivery systems, physical distribution and even surveillance. One of my very favourite examples is these guys here. These guys were robotic engineers that worked in corporate life with companies like Johnson & Wax creating a floor cleaner, with companies like Hasbro creating low-cost dolls. But when it came to starting their own company, they looked at their own experiences and they said, right, let's do the remote control or robotic vacuum cleaner. And of course, closer to home, we have the likes of Elon Musk's Solar City, combining roof tiles, solar panels, and even batteries that could create a total revolution in terms of domestic energy use. And there's so much more coming down the track. Products associated with artificial intelligence, with virtual reality, and with Internet of Things. There's just so much potential for these to combine and recombine with so many existing products and services. It is why I'm suggesting to you folks that we should be talking to all our students and really challenging them to come up with mix and match ideas. So here's one for you. Very quickly, talk to the neighbour beside you. What you've got is a range of objects here, or items. I want you to mix and match any two of them to create a completely new product or service. Mix and match any two of them. Let's get talking to the person beside you as quickly as possible. We only got 90 seconds. So that's it. Let's look at some of our own examples from our own online module at the Innovation Academy. You combine, for example, the let's say the car and the frog, because you're getting inspiration from the frog for a carpooling service for short hop trips. The glass and a drink to create a love potion for incurable romantics. The classroom and the money to create money management courses for students. Okay, it's over to you. Hands up. Who thinks we got a good mix and match? Come on, I know you got lots of them because we do this all the time. Let's go. At the back, Lorna. A virtual drinks party. Phones that will be more waterproof thanks to the umbrella. Anybody else? Yes. Brilliant, brilliant. The shoe and the heart to measure your heart rate. Yes. The phone and the frog, taking inspiration from the frog. When the phone falls on the ground, it actually bounces instead of smashing. I'll just take one more. One more, surely. Yes. Absolutely superb. Folks, thank you very much.